After obeying God, things are supposed to be easier, better, bigger, grander, just an upgrade, right? Well, what if actually on the other side of you obeying God, there's a lot of disappointment and loss? What then? Well, as for me in my house, I've been upset. I've I've been in a lot of pain. My spirit has been crushed in various ways because on the other side of completing a big assignment of where I was obedient and I just let go of everything and I did what God said, I've been met with so much heartache from having to move back into my mom's house more long term than I thought at the big age of 30 to not feeling connected at my old church home. So having to start over at a new place and building new relationships and finding my new groove with a new community to being carless because I sold it before I left and dealing with that. But then to get a car, but it not be the car that I wanted, to losing friendships and just the connections that I once had to various people, to not having enough saved. I thought I planned well, and nope, I didn't plan well at all. To not even having the drive and the motivation that I once had for business, to applying for jobs that I believe I'm more than qualified for, but not getting a single one, and yet instead getting a much lower end job that I would have never expected to be on my resume, knowing my background. It's just been one thing after another of things where I'm like, is this the reward for obeying the Lord in such a big way? And it hasn't gone the way I expected at all. And my response has been utter sadness, being upset, being disappointed, and just wondering, like, yo, what is happening? But one day before going into work, I just woke up with this gratitude of having toes that move, having thumbs that work, having a heart that is beating, having a roof over my head. And I realized gratitude is the way that I need to be responding. I had to choose out of necessity, honestly, to continue to trust the God that told me to do X, Y, and Z, and I obeyed it. And now I've returned, right? I need to choose to continue to lean into Him and trust that He knows what's happening. And I had to also repent for entitlement and getting a big head and all the things because I thought it should have been one way because I was obedient to the Lord. I cried about it and I just had to go to my closest friend, Jesus Christ, and leaning into Him has been the answer. So when things don't go the way that you expect it after obeying God, the answer is gratitude. And for that, I must say, I thank God for the roof over my head. I thank God for the friend that gave me her car for free. She had it fixed up and gave it to me for free. I thank God. Whether it's what I desired or not, I thank God. I thank God for the time and the space to grow in relationship with my family. I thank God for the community that I'm able to get to know and build with and grow in the Lord with. I thank God for the job that I do have, even though it is trying and it is causing me to rely on the Lord way more, because on the inside, it has been a struggle to work there. I thank God. I thank God that I'm able to stay in this home until I'm able to move forward in how the Lord would have me to. I thank God. And I thank God that I've been able to release things that I've been working on with the Lord for so long. I thank God that I'm now in a season where I can do it. I have the space and the time to work on it and release it. I thank God. and the enemy has really had me down and out, feeling a type of way, because things have not looked the way I wanted them to. And it's not until me preparing to make this video that I realized, oh my gosh, the prosperity gospel is so sneaky, and I did not know that I was falling prey to it. Thinking that because I obeyed God, I now earn or deserve X, Y, and Z blessings. Blessings, right? We need to redefine that word. No. God owes me nothing. He owes me nothing. He is a good father, and I'm grateful that he gives good gifts. But at the end of the day, whether I obey him for the smallest thing or the biggest thing, I deserve and I have earned nothing more than what he just willingly gives me because he's a good father. I want you to just take time to reflect on who Jesus is and what he died for. He didn't die just for us to get good things all the time. No. Sometimes the Lord does allow us to have suffering. Sometimes the Lord does allow us to have things that suck, like for us to have to endure. He does, because guess what? We're going to keep leaning on him. It makes us have to lean on him. It makes us have to deal with the inner things of our soul. It's been a lot of soul work on the other side of obedience. It's been a lot. So let's not subscribe to the prosperity gospel. I know many Christian influencers and worship leaders and all the things, pastors and rappers, all the things, like they live this life of luxury, which is great. I love it. And I believe that God does bless that, and he does allow for people to go through that. But if that is not on the other side of your obedience, continue to trust, continue to believe, continue to have hope in God. And maybe the bigger and the better is coming, because I mean, there is scriptural backing for it. Like when you do obey the Lord and you leave everything for him, like, yes, he does say, he does promise things. However, it is not up to me to determine when that timing is and if it'll even happen on this side of heaven or not. So until then, I'm just going to continue to thank God and know that although things don't look bigger and better now, what I have now is good because it is from God.